This program is brought to you through the kind support of the Friends of That's What She Said. Support BCTV by visiting bctv.org/support.
It used to be great, now it's not so great, but it's still pretty great. Reading. It used to have lights, then it didn't have lights. New with LED lights. Pagoda. Did they really say that? They did not say that. Yeah, they did say that. That's what she said.
Oh, welcome. Welcome to another episode of That's What She Said. We are caught a little unawares tonight. We were having an organizational meeting and forgot all about the time. We were having so much fun. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello. Jamie makes this rare appearance on camera, setting us up.
Love Jamie.
I'm, of course, Jane Street, your hostess, and next to me in her
My
holiday
patriotic
regalia.
gear. Yeah, we didn't get to celebrate 4th of July here, but here I am.
Wave to the camera, Jamie. is of course Sheila, and next, well, she's already with our bottle. It's Martha.
Hello.
and only one tonight, Nicole.
Just Nicole. Who's ready to drink the wine?
That's just, yeah.
Baby David stayed home tonight.
Yeah.
He did. He's with Daddy.
Well, and look at we're all decorated and
Yeah, this is cool. Well, we have to celebrate. This is our last time in this studio.
it is.
Ever.
This is our last time in this particular studio. Next show, which I'll get this housekeeping away. We'll do it again at the end. But our next show is on August 20th. Same time, but we're going to have a barbecue at
Nicole's house.
It's going to be fabulous.
Party at Nicole's.
We're going to tape that, and we'll put it in there, and there won't be any calls, but because
That's yours.
we'll be doing it at another time. But it'll be a wonderful, funny show, just like they all are. Now, as a reminder, you can tweet us at She Tweets to Me. Go ahead, we've got our tweeters ready. And call us at 610-378-0426. How are you doing back there, Jamie? She
got my yarn back.
He who doesn't speak. And look, we've got all this wonderful nautical regalia. We'll find out more about that later. But first, are we set?
I think so.
Can we begin the
All
show?
right.
Yes.
Yay.
Welcome to another episode of That's What She Said. I'm Jane Street. This is, never mind, we've been there. Well, yes, we're sad to leave this place. In September, we'll be in our new home at the Berks. Somebody shouted out to me.
Berks Community Media Center at Albright College.
Berks Community Media Center at Albright College. Thank you, John. And we don't know what it's going to look like. We don't know what the setup's going to be, but we're excited to see it because we all like new things.
But we like our old crew.
We do.
Yes.
You're all coming with us, right?
Aren't you?
Yeah. Yay.
Good. Excellent. That's what we like to hear. We're just getting rid of the space, moving into a new one. With all the same old faces or young faces, whichever. Mine's old. What can I say?
Not talking.
Oh, you're a spring chicken, darling. Well, because moving can be stressful. Oh, what a segue.
Yeah.
We were
that is a good segue.
at our little meeting. We were thinking about stress relieving activities because we all do from time to time get stressed. And here, cheers to that. Cheers to stress relieving activities.
Cheers.
I'll clink from afar.
Clink.
Clink.
Wow.
But when one can't have a drink, that's yummy. There are other things one can do, such as, what do you do when you're stressed? Not that you ever get stressed as a teacher and new mother.
And new mother. I like to read, or I like to cross stitch. I do a lot of cross stitch, or I play Plants vs. Zombies. So I go kill some zombies in the world.
Exciting.
What is that?
It's a game. I have it on my iPad, and it's what my husband is a gamer, so he taught me that this is called a tower defense, where you have rows, and they come at you in the rows, and you set up your defense and kill zombies. And basically, what you do, it turned me on because it's plants versus zombies. So as a horticulturist, I was like, all right. There you go.
Oh, kill the
So
zombie.
so you plant
gotcha.
these cute little plants, and they do things like shoot peas, or there's one that's like punches them to death and stuff.
That's cute.
It's a lot of
play
fun. I love it. I will
we
bring it
play
next time.
Can we play it when we come to your house?
Yes, absolutely. We will play it.
When we
That's
film
right.
at your
We have to
house, we're going to
remember.
go play killing zombies.
And we're also going to play. We're also going to play that card game I hear so much about.
Oh, yes.
Which one?
Cards Against Humanity.
Oh, I'm nervous. I'm excited.
Right.
I've heard about that game.
Sorry, we're planning the next show right now. So Martha, what do you do?
I do kind of the same. I'm not a gamer, but I do, I knit, I read, I eat. Unfortunately, that's not a good stress reliever, but it is one that I fall into.
fine.
But I had a friend who had an old house, and in the house they had a coal bin that they didn't use. She saved all her old light bulbs. And when she was and she had 5 sons, so when things got intense,
every day.
she went into her basement and just hurled light bulbs in the coal bin.
That's nice.
And then she'd sweep them all up and go
we do
upstairs.
that, too?
Well, you can't do them with the new light bulbs, I guess, but these were
yes,
the
'cause
old
they
incandescent
Mercury
bulbs.
or
Yes.
something.
Yeah, it just seemed like such a great.
You can get some old plates and throw them at a wall or
Yes.
something.
Oh,
Yeah.
right, exactly.
Go to a flea market and get a box full of
Exactly.
pottery and things.
TJ
that's-
Maxx.
Yes.
Ooh, you're all giving me wonderful ideas to
Right?
release my stress.
We're going to have a light bulb and plate room.
Indeed.
I love this. This is so much better than what I do.
What do you do, Knit?
What do I mean? Yes, there's that, but I mean, I read. I do have that color guard thing going on. It's nice to go outside
Right.
and throw things when you're
Yeah.
frustrated.
Yeah, that's true.
So, and I'm a musician, so I play a lot of instruments. I kind of make noise when I'm annoyed.
Yeah.
Do you play drums?
I have. I'm not very good at them, but yeah.
Oh, that's exciting. You should
Yeah.
bring a drum kit on sometime.
Oh gosh, I don't even have one.
You can
Can I bring
create
something
one.
else?
Yeah.
I
Oh,
can
sure.
create
What
one.
would-
Hey, I have a table,
That's
right?
true. What would you like to bring on
I
musically?
don't know.
Well, give that some thought. Mark.
I'll sleep on
What do you
it.
do to relieve stress?
What do? I go for long walks and long drives and bathe in soft bubble baths.
Oh yeah, bubble baths. I forgot about
yeah.
that.
Because
With
nothing
candles.
says
That's right.
relaxing like falling asleep and drowning in your bathtub.
With your cat on the other side of the door,
you go out
yowling his head off.
That's true. My cat.
The
does-
cat, meow,
she does like water, so she walks
does?
around the. Now that I think of it,
Mine
it's not.
hates
It's
it.
not at all stress-free at all because I'm always worried about the cat.
The
falling
cat's
down in the
gonna drown and not burn itself on their
My
candle.
goodness. So yes, a long walk. I love nature, so I love going out in the country and just communing and forgetting about everything else. It's.
Driving in backcountry roads is really a good way to.
Do you like to play Get
Yes.
Lost?
Yes.
Where you find a
Oh my
road that
gosh,
you've never been
yes.
on and you
Yeah.
just keep. And
Except I've lived here for so much of my life that
Yeah.
there are not many roads around here that I don't pretty well know where they're going to come out.
I thought that
further.
too, but I did get
you
lost
get on one?
recently, and I was terrified because I was really, really lost. I was like, "My God, I'm on this windy mountain." I was really, like,
Really?
yeah, I was really like, I was really not recognizing something, and I thought I was making all left turns, but. Somehow I ended up in Lancaster.
Oh my
And I was like,
gosh.
really? I was just going for just a spin, a sinking spring, and
And there you
it
go.
just went,
See,
yeah, all
when I first
crazy.
moved here, I did that on purpose. I just went out and got lost and saw if I could get my way back, and some wonderful Amish people helped me find my way back to where I needed to be.
They're nice.
They were. They
They're
were
very nice.
fantastic.
They got you back on track.
were they in a buggy? Or?
No, on bikes.
Ah.
On bikes.
Because they don't have cars, right? Like they won't drive cars. I'm still learning that crap.
So actually, we were driving the other day, and I saw the most beautiful thing, and I've never seen it before, and I don't know why. But we were driving down a road, and there was a bridge going over the road, and there was this amazingly beautiful black inky black horse pulling a buggy, just going across the overpass as we were passing under it. It was just such a beautiful. Had I been quicker, I would have taken a picture, but I wasn't. So it lives on in my memory, as many things do or don't. Now, tell me about this owl.
This owl, I saw it. I got it at Giant, actually. I actually get all of my flowers at Giant because I just like Giant. It's cheap and they're cute flowers.
That is really cute.
Isn't it pretty? It's going to sit on my desk when we're done with it.
I love it.
Yeah, purple is my favorite color. They had white ones and black owls. And
Which Giant was this?
white is just not. In Singing Spring,
Okay.
right near my house.
Nice.
Well, Sheila has, of course, has been tasked with providing our centerpieces.
Right, because that was
Very
Ellen's thing
creative.
before.
Indeed.
And then
Yeah.
once Ellen, I had to fill Ellen's shoes. I have big shoes to fill my chest. I hope my owl does
great
what's
job.
justice.
It's
You're doing
lovely.
a wonderful job.
Thanks.
Indeed.
I do like flowers, and I can't have them at home, so it's good to have an excuse to buy them.
Well, if we can bring it down for a moment, ladies, there's something in the news lately that we feel we should we want to talk about, and that's the situation with the busloads of children coming from the South American countries to the United States and the uproar that is causing. I did see an amusing piece today where I forget what he's running for, but some politician who's running for something was holding a rally about the immigration issue, and he saw a bus coming down the road, and he tore off and started chanting at it, and it turned out it was a school bus full of YMCA kids going to YMCA camp, and then he wildly
still, he
backpedaled.
didn't know.
Well, indeed.
I mean, there's so much of this happening.
Indeed. So,
Try to do a good thing.
well, he was yelling at him to get away.
Oh, he was?
Yes.
To send them, yeah.
I just find, and I guess, I know this is not popular with everybody, and I understand the problems that having that many children coming into this country can create financially as far as welfare and so forth. I just can't imagine what image we're giving to the rest of the world when we have encouraged other nations like the Sudan, when they've had immigrants coming in, fleeing from other countries. We've helped those countries to house those immigrants. And these are children, and I guess because I've been an advocate for children ever since I started teaching, I cannot imagine what the world thinks of us treating children like this, and I can't imagine what it must take for a parent, the terror that must allow a parent to send a child on such a risky journey with the idea they may never get here alive, or they may never see their parents again.
Yeah.
I cannot,
It must be that desperate of a situation.
it must be
there.
terrible.
It is that desperate.
That they almost, that's a risk they're willing to take.
They realize that if they stay there, they may very well die. So this
so
is
just
better.
go.
This at least
Yeah.
gives
And
them.
if I never see you, at least you get to
I just
live.
am
Exactly,
appalled.
and that's really the situation. I've been listening to NPR a lot lately, mostly for this issue because they've been covering it, and they were interviewing. I forget the names. I'm never good with names, but they were interviewing someone talking about Honduras, where a lot of these refugees are coming from, and he was saying that when this started to happen, there was talk of us then not sending aid to Honduras, but they said that's not great because it's needed there. The major problem is that there's a whole generation of men, for the most part, that are not there because they've come to this country to seek work, to send money home. And so a lot of the young males started to form these gangs, which have now become very, very dangerous. They were interviewing this one boy. He was approached by the one gang and was essentially given the ultimatum, you join us or we'll kill you. And so he escaped that night and started his travels to this country. So it's scary.
There's a girl, I think from Honduras, but it may have been from Guatemala, that said she had seen the gangs kill her brother. They told her that she would then become their instrument. And so she was 17. And she fled, and I think on the way here she was sexually abused by the coyotes that were taking her, but she did make it to this country, and she has an aunt living in Florida that she's hoping to get to. These are children. I don't understand the Statue of Liberty, that whole Emma Lazarus thing. Bring me your tired, your poor, your humbled wretches yearning to breathe free. Did we forget that? And Jesus, and I'm not, I'm not being a Christian here. I'm just saying, all these people that quote the Bible, Jesus said, "Let the little children come in unto me, and whatsoever ye do to the least of my brethren." Well, these are the least. These are children that we're doing. I'm appalled. And those people with the signs and their awfulness that these kids are bringing diseases in, I'm just appalled.
There was destruction rained down upon Sodom and Gomorrah. I mean, and many people have one interpretation, but the true interpretation is it was due to the unwelcoming nature of the populace towards foreigners. And I understand there's a financial issue involved here, but we are so supportive of other countries in their humanitarian efforts with children and adults escaping war-torn areas and going into another country, that we can't have that same compassion in our own country is just frightening to me. And I wish I had a solution, but...
And I do understand both sides. I understand the financial side. I mean, it's taxing on our economy. I understand that it is. And then I'm torn on the same time. It's
children.
These people are in need.
What is the world thinking of us?
Yeah.
What hypocrites we are in talking about other countries and helping them, providing aid for their refugee camps, giving them money to help them with refugee camps, and then turning around and doing this to children. I'm sorry. Economically, whatever, I think that ill will that this is going, and the hypocrisy that we're going to be noted for, is going to do a whole lot worse than it will do for our economy if we let those children here.
Indeed. And now that we're...
Talk about stress.
Now that we're all riled up.
I need to kill some zombies.
And we'll get you more upset, and we'll talk about dating. And... dating website stories, because we know several of us have doozies. Anyone want to start? Nicole?
Oh, Nicole, tell us.
Okay, so when Nicole moved here,
Oh gosh.
she wanted to meet some people. So I signed up for eHarmony and all those other ones. And what it ended up with was a lot of great first date stories. I will tell you just one, although if you want to hear more, I can tell you. I'm going to tell you about French Fry Man.
Oh gosh.
Very nice guy, very sweet. I don't remember his name. Takes me to Smoky Bones. Never forget this. And the waitress.
There's a first date destined for horror. Here, have some barbecue sauce. Let's look like we gnawed on a child.
There was one. This is not French Fry Guy, but there was one where I met him at this restaurant. I walked in and I was like, "You are not your picture." And I was like, fine. So I ordered hot wings, and I'm like eating the hot wings and being disgusting. I'm like, "I don't want you to call me again." And he's like, "Man, that is sexy that a girl doesn't mind eating like that." I was like, "Crap." This blew up in my face. Okay,
Let's get back to
so French Fry Man is talking his game, and he's being all charming and stuff. And the waitress comes over, introduces herself. She's like, "Oh, hey, welcome, blah 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 blah." And she's holding a plate from the previous table that she was at. And he goes, "Oh, you anticipated our needs and brought us an appetizer of fries." And she goes, "Oh, haha, you don't want these fries." He took a fry and ate it.
Oh,
he took a fry and ate it. And she looked at me like, "Oh, honey."
Oh, no. Deal breaker.
And at the end of the night, he tried to kiss me. And I was just like,
You ate old French fries. You're not kissing me.
French fries, dude. If you ate someone else's French fry, don't come near me.
Oh no, that was nasty.
So that was one of many. That was my favorite. He never got a second date. But so all of that time spent, it was like a couple months that I was on these dating sites. And then I happened to go to the bar one night and I meet my husband. So it worked out well.
That's
Well,
romantical.
Yeah.
It is romantic. So not good.
There's nothing
Not
like
good
meeting
to
your
me.
husband in a bar.
Yeah. Of all places. Well, as we like to say, you say you never meet nice people at a bar, but you know what? I'm a nice person. I go to the bar sometimes.
It's true. I mean, it's where people
There are nice
congregate.
people at the bar.
Yeah. But it was not successful for me, this online dating thing. However, my best friend, she did meet her husband on a dating site on Christian Mingle.
Yeah.
So,
A lot of friends that do it too.
yeah,
They
it works
love
for some
I
people.
personally would never go there. There's
You've never tried it?
No, oh my gosh, no way. That would
creates fun
freak me
stories.
out.
My son went on a dating site and actually met Melissa, and he's been with her for more than 5 years now. And
Wow.
we love Melissa. But, it was one of those really good matches. I think he went about 20 let's meet each other dates before he met Melissa. But I've heard horror
Gotta
stories
kiss a lot of frogs.
about things. Yeah, the things that the frogs put on their on their profiles.
They're trying to snag flies.
One guy said, "If you read books, I'm not interested."
What? Are you serious?
Yeah, if you read books, I'm not
Okay.
interested.
He sounds like
Because
a
then
winner.
you're too
Yeah.
smart. And I don't like that at all.
Ooh, there's a service. I've just thought of a wonderful service. We set up a website to answer these people who are such holes. Other people. Like somebody has this experience. She meets this guy who says, "If you read books,"
I'm
and
not
she comes
interested.
to us, and we attack him. We
Celia.
all set up dates. Yes. And-
Bring Celia.
Bring Celia.
Indeed.
I'd like to read you this passage about horses.
Or when
Excuse
they
me.
found Lola
Yes,
drowned
yes,
in
yes.
the river.
Yes, let me tell you about Lola. She was a showgirl. Never mind.
I think online dating is become, and at first it was, we all went, oh, really? But
I
it really
still
is just,
do.
I
It
know,
freaks
but you
me
know what?
out.
It's become a very common thing, and it's probably, with the pace our lives are today, it's probably the best way
To meet people.
to meet people.
Well, we're on there so much.
Yeah, but I've
exactly.
seen they're doing some new things. I don't know what site it is, but I've seen where they now do these things where it's not so much, well, I meet you and we go out, but it's these group events. Like you go and take a cooking class
Yeah.
with 10 other
That's
singles.
neat.
I think that's really smart.
A mixer almost.
Yeah, it's sort of creating that situation of being in person, but it's
Yeah.
making it a little more natural than
Yeah.
we're going to converse online and meet each other. It's,
Yeah.
I think that's very smart. It's evolving.
Yeah.
I'm told there's a 22-second delay of our audio and video.
Oh, good.
Wow.
So,
Is this
Jay, I'm sorry. Just DVR us. And then, no, that wouldn't work, would it? Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm sure this will all be fixed when we
Hear
move.
us eventually.
Indeed. So we do have something very special tonight, since it is summer and we're all doing summer things. You can start bringing him on. Martha's husband, actually. What is your official title? Are you captain? Are you?
Yes.
Captain Barry Kuiper, please welcome, and he's going to tell us all about, well, probably not all about, but some things about water safety.
I love him.
So, welcome, and it's
Thank you.
nice to have you on this side. He's usually on the other side of the camera, but...
Nice to be here.
Ooh, and here comes the Rolly platform full of wonderful things that he's going to tell us about.
Okay. Well, I belong to the Coast Guard Auxiliary. Okay.
Shush, Martha, your husband's speaking.
What's
I was like, no, I'm used to that.
You're not home now.
Drink some more wine.
the Coast Guard Auxiliary? We were formed by an act of Congress in 1939, originally called the Coast Guard Reserve, and then 5 years later they changed it to the Coast Guard Auxiliary. We're totally volunteer. Nobody gets paid in our organization to do what we do. We work with the Coast Guard. Our priority mission is recreational boating safety, and that's all of our activities are geared to that. Although we do some other things. We engage in search and rescue operations if we're called to. We have people trained to do commercial fishing vessel inspections. There are people who will go out with the Coast Guard on buoy tenders and work, take care of buoys in the ocean. And
Is there commercial fishing around here?
not in this area,
Okay.
but when you look at waterways, there's the ocean, the bays, the rivers, the lakes, inland waterways and that sort of thing. So the Coast Guard has responsibility for all of those. And it's amazing when you think about it, and we take a look at anything that has to deal with water, the Coast Guard gets involved with at some point. So it's a wide-ranging variety
My
of
tap
activities.
has a funny taste. Can you, Coast Guard, do something about that?
No,
That's a
All right,
different-
fine.
that's
we
a
might be
different
able to, but we don't know.
Reading problem.
All right, fine. No, Reading water's fine.
Yeah.
It's yummy. So, sorry. Now, and I have to say now that we have been trying to organize an episode or filming some on Barry's boat. And maybe now that I've put it out there, we'll actually get our butts together and make this happen, because we think us on the water would be fabulous.
Oh my gosh.
So, sorry.
Sure, I'll end up in the
Continue.
I
water.
was just going to say, I will end
Well,
up landing in the
I think we'd like to talk a little bit about recreational boating safety, since that is my priority when I'm in the uniform. So what I've done is, being an educator by profession, is I brought some props along to give us a little lesson about life jackets.
Yay.
And there are actually a lot of information about life jackets. Ooh, yes, a lot of information about life jackets. There are 5 types, and we'll go over each type and talk a little bit briefly about them.
Will we each be wearing one of those types?
Some of these might be a little small for people, but yeah, you could put them on. Couple of things about
You should have known what it would be like.
this one first. Yes, I know. So this is a Type 1 life jacket. Okay. This is an offshore life jacket, and it has 22 pounds of flotation in. Now, this life jacket obviously does not weigh 22 pounds. What that means is it takes 22 pounds of weight to sink this. Okay. Now, why is that significant? If you were to weigh your head, it would weigh about 22 pounds. Okay? So this particular life jacket, a Type 1, yes,
I didn't think it was that much.
yeah. A Type 1 is an offshore vest. So this is good. This will provide you with flotation for the longest period of time. This life jacket also has a bolster on it that, as you would put this on.
I'm sorry.
You can't wear that. We'll talk about that when we get there.
Allows me to rest my head while I drink.
Okay.
This is great.
This has a bolster on it that fits behind your head, and this particular life jacket is designed to turn you face up if you were unconscious in the water. Offshore, you could be 50 miles, 200 miles off. This will provide you with the greatest opportunity.
And that's what Sheila's wearing here.
Sheila actually has a Type 2.
Oh.
Okay. And a Type 2 is a near shore, okay? And a near shore life vest is designed for bays, rivers, anywhere that your rescue is more imminent, okay? Martha is wearing a Type 3.
In different colors. Why is it this color?
Well, that's a good point. If you take a look at the one that Jane has, the dark blue one, or the navy blue one, should be Coast Guard blue. If you were in the water, and particularly some areas like the ocean.
I was in the water, I'd match the water, and I'd drown.
That's exactly the
Find
point.
me.
That's exactly the point.
Thank you, Jamie.
That life jacket is very difficult to see in the water.
Yes.
The orange, the yellow, the bright orange, and the one I think that Sheila has also has reflective stripes on it somewhere.
Did I put it on wrong?
I think it may be upside down.
No, I don't see
no
no
reflective stripes. Okay.
You have, you're going to drown with me.
But regardless,
These
these are much easier to see when you go in the water.
yes.
So if you were buying a life jacket, what I would recommend is that you buy one with a bright color like that. So if you do accidentally go in the water and somebody has to find you, you're easier to see.
So why would they make one that camouflages you?
Well, and that's a good point. In
in case you want to be stealthy.
late fall,
A stealthy castaway from
You don't want anybody to see you drowning. You want to be alone.
being safe
Put that on.
Wear a bright scarf.
Or this.
That's true.
No
I-
reflectors.
It's the Where's Waldo of rescue.
I'll make sure I'm wearing a neon scarf when I fall off the boat.
in the fall, hunters go out and they have to camouflage themselves, so they get a camouflage vest. Okay, it's just part of the being able to find the game.
Duck hunters.
Yes, duck hunters. Okay. The Type 3 is an inland waterways vest. That's lakes, ponds, whatever. Nicole has a Type 4, and I have a couple different Type 4s. These are throwables.
Like a fake pregnancy belly.
Okay. Well, actually, that's
This is like the seat cushion on the plane.
absolutely, but you're not to wear that. It's a throwable. If somebody goes in the water and they don't have their life jacket, you would attach a line to it and throw it past the person, pull it towards them so they could grab it. I just received not too long ago a blog from one of our members who was vacationing in Canada, and he rescued a man whose boat sank and was in the water, and used a throwable life jacket to pull him in. So
Now, would you say that the first thing one should do before going out in a boat is learn to swim?
I would say the first thing you do before you go out on a boat is take a boating safety class.
Ah,
Okay?
So are these what they used to call Mae Wests?
A Mae West is an inflatable. And they were,
Wow.
Mae West jacket was worn by pilots.
Okay.
Okay, and they, something like that would take up a lot of space in an airplane cabin. So they developed an inflatable life jacket, and they inflated, and it gave the look
Are we
of Mae
going to
West.
see that? Okay, like
Yes.
the
Oh,
look.
big busty.
Yeah.
this says jerk. You've given me the jerk. What happens if I pull this?
Well, just hold on.
All right,
We didn't get to that type yet.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so type 4 is a
I
throwable.
thought I was Mae West.
This is an example of a type 3 for a child. They're a little different. They have a strap that goes down underneath the leg so it wouldn't come off.
We'll slip right out of that one.
Right now he will.
To tell if your life jacket is fitting properly, you do what's called the touchdown test. You put it on, hold your arms up. If you're able to pull your life jacket up, somebody else would pull your life jacket up. If it comes off, it's too loose. You need to tighten your straps.
That's what we do when we go whitewater rafting.
Right.
They do that
Right.
test.
That's called touchdown test. And the purpose of that is your life jacket will float, you don't. If you've never been in the water with a life jacket on, it floats and you sink. So if it's loose,
fall
it's
right
going to
out.
fall right out of it. So it's
scary.
use
have
the
had that
touchdown test.
Now, why do you need less buoyancy on inland waters as
It's because you're closer to shore in most cases, and you have a greater chance of being rescued or seen versus 200 miles out or 1,000 miles offshore.
Indeed.
So it's all
Go.
right. So the last type is a type 5, and that's one that Jane has. That's an inflatable. I have two other type 5s. There's a float suit over here, which is it's similar to a wetsuit. It's flotation. If you go in the water, that thing's going to keep your whole body afloat. Believe me, that thing works tremendously. And another type 5 float coat, a little different. If you wear these things, you'll lose weight instantaneously because they're all like it's rubber on the inside. It's flotation.
Oh, and you were holding it. You said it's this
heavy.
one weighs.
Yeah.
It's really heavy.
Yeah. The type 5 that you have there is a type 5 that acts as a type 3 when it's inflated. And that's a manual and two types of automatic. If you hit, I'm sorry, two manual types, one automatic. If you hit the water wearing that particular jacket, it will inflate automatically. If it does not,
I wish we had a kiddie pool.
if it does not, that handle that you have below you,
The one that's calling me a jerk.
yes, that one. If you pull that, that will inflate the jacket.
I'm.
Pull it,
Now, one other, the manual part. Go ahead. You may pull. You may pull.
All right. Here we go.
That was terrifying.
That is everything I hoped it would be.
If you haven't died of a heart attack, somebody might rescue you.
That was so scary.
Oh, it's very tight, but it's
That's the idea. It will keep you afloat.
I guess.
Wow, it like suctioned everything up. That was so funny.
Where's another one? I want to do it again.
I don't have one.
Our producer is waving his magic hand.
Okay. Just
So, in fact,
two other things real quick.
Yes.
All life jackets have to be U.S. Coast Guard approved. Okay, so, and you check it. It says on the label somewhere that it's U.S. Coast Guard approved. You must check them periodically for wear, proper fit, make sure everything is, all the buckles and everything are in place. If not, discard it, get a new one. The end.
Thank you so much for being with us. And
That was
indeed.
fun.
This was the best. Oh my God, it's rock hard.
Yes. And this is very cold, this canister. It's fabulous. It's
cold?
Because, yeah, it's so
Yeah,
warm in
it's,
here, the canister.
CO2.
Oh yeah, it's like ice.
All right. Well, we're going to take a little break and extricate me from this this inflated thing. And can I pop it? No. And we'll see you back.
You're watching BCTV.org. Be informed, be involved, be a member. For membership information, go to www.bctv.org/support/membership. For other stories and information, go to bctv.org.
Hey, welcome back. I'm just trying to find something here because I think this deserves a sound. So we're going to see what we have here. Thank you again, Barry. Captain Barry Kuiper, for a wonderful talk with us. And that was exciting. Now, speaking of exciting, oh, and it didn't make a noise at all. Now, speaking of exciting, that wasn't a very good one. It's time for the surprise topic. And who has the surprise topic this week?
I do.
Nicole.
All right, darling, what is it?
Okay, this surprise topic actually came from an experience I had yesterday. I don't know how to word this, so I'm just going to tell the story and then see where it leads you. So yesterday I'm in Target, and I'm trying to buy, the essentials, toilet paper and paper towels. And there was this lady in the middle of the aisle, just standing there taking her sweet time, and I'm like, lady, I've got places to be. So I get what I needed, like I was able to inch by or grab what I needed, and I'm walking away, and I'm like muttering under my breath, I'm like, oh, you're so inconsiderate, like I hate when people do this, and I made this snap decision about her. That's really where it comes up. I made this judgment about who she was and what she was all about. I come into the next aisle, she comes the opposite way, and I'm like, oh God, here we go again. She sees me looking at paper towels, and she goes, oh, are you doing the same deal I am? And I said, oh, I don't know what you're talking about, but I saw that these were on sale, this is what I want. And she goes, oh, here. She pulls out these coupons for me. And it was like $2 off, and she goes, here you go, sweetie, use these. And I was like, you're not going to use these? She goes, no, I got plenty. Here, these are for you. And I was like, wow, thank you. And her generosity it was a very humbling moment. And I realized in that moment that I had made a snap judgment about this person. And I was taught that, it was a good lesson in humility. So that's my topic. Have you ever had that happen where you made a judgment about somebody and you were completely wrong?
All the time.
Absolutely.
I do it all the time.
Never, I'm dead on with my But you go ahead.
I do. I mean, everybody who knows and loves me knows I'm a bit of a judgmental person, but I judge out loud, so I think it's okay to do that. But I don't know. That's how I justify it, and I don't mean to judge, but I think everyone does. So, but I just do it out loud. So and sometimes if people prove me wrong, I'm like, okay, this is what I thought about you initially, and I always admit it. So, I think
I'm better, but it's taken me 50 years to get to this point, I think.
I'm a work in progress.
It is a work in progress. And those first impressions, they do count.
Yeah, totally.
And I found that many times that first impression that I have, and then I'll change it, and I'll say I was all wrong about that. Sometimes I go back to it, and I wasn't wrong.
Sometimes there's something to be said about gut instinct.
Absolutely, there is.
Do you think sometimes you need someone else to be your guide, like
your voice of reason?
Your voice of reason, like actually Jamie serves as that for me often.
And Barry does for me.
Oh, what a wonderful person that is, and he'll go. No. Oh, yes, they're lovely. And then 3 weeks later, I'm like, oh my goodness, what was I thinking?
Jamie was right.
Also, and I think Nicole can vouch for this too, as teachers, and at whatever level you're teaching, it makes no difference. You have to be very careful with judging students the first day they come into your class, or with the first assignment they turn in.
Absolutely.
I have to be very careful because I've discovered I can really develop a attitude about students that's not professional, and so maybe that's why I've learned to be a little bit more careful in my judgment. But man, I've had one case after another where I have done stupid things.
But it is difficult sometimes.
It is,
I mean, we all want to be better more caring, loving people. And I think that's something we should all strive for. But sometimes other people's actions, like the woman in front of you till she turned the other way, just make it so maddeningly difficult.
Yeah, and I judged how she was affecting me and my
Indeed.
day when I knew nothing about her.
Exactly.
And then she turns around and does this kind of,
shopping and
she was,
standing in
well,
your
and I mean,
way.
she was in the middle of the aisle, and her relative was a son or brother or something was at the end of the aisle on a phone talking loudly, very loudly. And I was just like, oh, you people. This is really what it comes down to, you people. But then come around to the other side, and she just does this kindness. It doesn't mean that it didn't annoy me in the other aisle that, no one could get past her, but I realized there's more to this person, and
Yeah, double parkers. I get crazy in Reading. On North 5th Street, there's a parking space right here, and this guy's double parked. And so I blow my horn at all double parkers.
Oh, there are people who park in my parking space all the time, and that just makes me
But this is where there's a
Leave 'em a
space.
bill.
Could you pull into that space?
idea.
But then I tooted at one today, and it was a lady with a walker. I felt, so I felt like you were being I was the crazy. I was the creep.
Indeed.
There was a space she could have pulled into that.
Well, there you go. I mean, we should all be mindful of what other people are going through, but sometimes people are just holes.
They're inconsiderate.
And so you got to keep that in mind. Sometimes people are just doing rude things because they're rude people.
I think we all
But
need to
I
work
think
at being
more often
nicer.
than not, it's us. It's our frantic nature, what we're tied up in what we're doing, and it influences how we relate to other people. Did you want me to? Oh yes, yes.
Pictures.
Well, did you have anything?
No, that's my topic. I hope you enjoyed it.
We did.
Well, we have another topic for Nicole, and what is that?
It's my baby. My little man.
Can we see some pictures?
David is now 2 months old. This is, last week we went back to Pittsburgh to visit my family and let him meet his extended family. This is my grandma, my nonna, Betty. She's 86 and absolutely gorgeous. And this is
gorgeous.
this is her meeting her great grandson, and she was tickled pink to meet him. And that's I love it. That's his 2-month-old picture, and that's the blanket that Martha gave us. We love that blanket. So I love
Oh, it's
him.
just the two.
I
All
love
right.
him too. I fell in love with him this weekend.
Oh, we want.
Thanks.
Face.
He does. He.
I was playing
He's
with his
my little
toes and his
pickle.
little fingers.
My dogs loved his toes.
Yeah, they did. They kept sniffing his toes.
Once they knew his toes
They
were
were-
okay, they were fine.
Indeed. It's like they look like little hot dogs.
They're so I love my baby.
No, he is an amazing creature.
He's so
you.
good too. Like he doesn't cry. He doesn't really.
Oh, he does cry.
He didn't really do that.
He doesn't cry around us.
He was on his best behavior.
And speaking of crying, it's time for yet another passage of Celia, Country Reporter by Laura Vittray. Now, we've had some tragic experiences over the last 2 episodes with Celia. We are going to try to not have that kind of experience today. So could you please give me a number between 50 and 150?
I was going to say 50 and 51.
No, I have.
98.
I'm not. Last time I
98.
picked the page and it was awful.
All right,
Another death.
Oh, 98. That's 89. I'm
We'll
being
see what mine looks
dyslexic
like.
tonight. All right. We can all keep our fingers crossed that Celia will not meet nor any of her friends or animals meet any tragedy tonight.
She must work for a tabloid.
Let's go to 899.
This is not a good page.
Oh, not a good page.
The rescued boy was bright-eyed, chubby little fellow who emerged from the forest riding piggyback on the warden's shoulders. She just runs into everything here, doesn't she?
The lost child.
Yes, the rescued boy. He was greatly abashed that his mother should weep over him. Yes, he had known that he was lost. No, he hadn't been too afraid. Maybe just a little. He knew they'd find him, but he hoped they wouldn't have to stay in the forest all alone at night, even without a gun to shoot bears. The whistle. Yes, he'd heard the whistle. That's how he'd known his daddy was looking for him. Well, I guess Lola will cover the camp show tonight after all, May remarked as they started back to town. The kid has given it some unexpected publicity. They ought to have a record crowd. May, I'm glad I came with you, even if I can't write the story. I wouldn't have missed it. Oh, you can just crawl right out of it. What the heck am I saying? Oh, you can't crawl out of that easily, May chuckled. Readers just eat up a story like that one. And there.
Oh, that was a nice.
There we
That
go.
was nice. A happy
Yes, the
ending.
rescued boy rescued from bears that he would have preferred to have shooted. That he would have preferred to have shot.
Celia would have
yes.
preferred a bear got him.
Well, that's true. Celia would have liked, see, that if it would have been in keeping with the rest of the story, he would have been found half eaten by a bear. But we're glad he wasn't. We're glad he was rescued. Celia, country reporter, yet another chapter by Laura Vitre. Excellent author. She is amazing. You should look her up.
There's a column waiting for her to write.
Oh, she.
Laura Vitre.
Like,
Country writer.
Well, she is. She. Well, we'll have to find out why she couldn't report on that because she was there. What was she doing? If she's a country reporter, she should be reporting on the lost boy being rescued. Never mind. So I this summer did something I've always wanted to do, and we signed up for a CSA, a community-supported agriculture place.
What is that?
Well, there are two types. Well, I didn't know there were two types, but this type, the type I. Oh, really? The type I. Wow, time is flying. Anyway. The type we signed up for, well, I'll tell you about the normal type and then I'll tell you what we did. Normal type, you find a farm. They list, if you Google CSA farms, you sign up at the beginning of a season for, say, a summer crop or a winter crop, and you pay a lump sum, and each week you get some wonderful box of vegetables and fruits from them that you get to cook with, and it's a surprise. It's like getting a surprise box every week.
so you can do it during the winter? I didn't know that.
Some places do have winter
Wow,
crops.
that's
I mean,
neat.
it's limited. You
Right,
get
be
lots
like
of squash.
and stuff.
Here's your box of squash, surprise! But
Where's the zucchini bread? Here we go.
but in the summer, it's quite amazing. But the one we found, actually, they send you an email on Sunday, and they say, this is what's in the box. Do you want to sign up for this week? So you have a choice each week. You don't have to do the upfront lump sum. You can pay week by week, which in the end I probably decided will be equal to what we would have paid up front anyway, but it's nice to have that choice, like if you go on vacation or something. But like this week we get fresh garlic and tomatoes and wonderful and fennel and all sorts of wonderful things. But have any you certainly know about?
Yeah, I didn't call them that, but that is their correct term.
Well, what are they called? What do you call them?
I just call it community agriculture, or yeah. I think they're fantastic. It's a great way to connect yourself to the farmer, and I am a huge advocate of that. Every time that you can connect yourself directly to the products you are using, I think is a fantastic thing. No offense to the grocery stores and stuff, but to connect yourself to the actual farmer makes it, I think, a more intimate experience.
And it's nice to support a local grower.
Exactly.
Rather than somebody from California.
Where the produce is coming from.
Yeah, and the grocery stores are doing a much better job. If you look for signs that say PA preferred, that's a product that has been produced in Pennsylvania. There's a huge movement towards Pennsylvania preferred and Pennsylvania agriculture. So you can go to, I think it's papreferred.com, and you can look at products that are grown here. If there's a website, I can't think of it right now, but if you look up CSA Pennsylvania, if it's the right website, you're going to see a map of the state, and it's going to have little icons where all the CSAs in the state are. That's very cool that you can go to.
I think I remember talking to her about something like this once.
It's really wonderful, and it's nice. With ours, instead of a lot of them, they take the boxes to a certain drop-off point. This one, you actually go to their farm, and they have it set up. They have it set up like farmers market style. So they tell you what you get, like one kohlrabi bunch, and so it's all listed there. So you like pick through and touch your vegetables as you're getting them, which is kind of lovely.
Yeah,
That is
Yeah, I think
lovely.
it's wonderful.
So it's
I want to do that. That sounds awesome.
well, I can give you the
Yeah.
I can give you the
I love
address. I don't know if
veggies.
we can actually say it here, so I.
There's so much
If
wonderful
anybody wants
produce
to
right now.
know, either Twitter me or email me at emailjanestreet@gmail.com, or look on our Facebook page. That's what she said. It's hard to find, but keep trying it. It's there. And I'll give you the address or the email address. They're wonderful. You might have to get on a waiting list, but there are. That one is the only one that I know that operates that way, but they are all
They're
wonderful.
all around.
It's
Yeah.
worth it. Try it.
Yeah,
It
it
is.
is worth
Let's see. Anybody else on that?
No.
I'm good.
It also, but the other nice thing about it is, sorry, going back to that, it surprises you with vegetables you may not actually have ever encountered or haven't used frequently. So it's like, oh, what am I going to do with this? So it's fun too.
Outside of the
If you like to cook and you're adventurous, I think
Exactly.
it's great because you think, oh, I've never had kohlrabi before.
Yeah.
And then you're looking up recipes to try and you're trying new things.
I do have to say it's very tasty but gassy. Very gassy.
I'm not eating that.
That's a
I don't want that
kohlrabi.
at all.
Just keep it from my son.
Well, I think we should go to the serious one. We have about 5 minutes left of the show. So Martha actually saw a commercial recently.
That was Nicole.
Oh, Nicole?
This was
Oh.
Nicole.
Yes, about
Science.
yes.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So tell us
Sorry,
about
mommy
what.
brain.
Tell us about what you said.
It's a great commercial. I forget what it's for, but it starts with this little girl, and she's playing outdoors, I think on the beach or something, and she's very inquisitive. She's, in tune with the natural world and science, and then she gets a little bit older, and you hear parent voices off screen, and the mom goes, honey, don't do that, you'll get your dress dirty. And then it's, don't do that, honey, it's dangerous. And then there's a shot of her and her brother building a rocket, and she has the screw gun, and her mom or dad goes, honey, don't do that, it's dangerous, give it to your brother. And it's an ad on the fact that we're sort of creating this culture where we're not encouraging our girls into science and math. I as a woman in science, it made me very happy to see that put out there. And the last shot is a thing for a science fair at school, and she uses the reflection of it to put lip gloss on. So we've
she's just
basically
kind of like a girly
we've
girl with
trained her
nothing.
out of loving math and science.
I can't imagine a mother today, a young mother, saying that's something your brother can do. At my age, I find that
can.
offensive.
My mother would say that.
Really?
My
can.
mother
I
would say,
just
yep.
find
That's
that
not how I grew up,
offensive.
but I can see it.
My
Yeah,
mother would
I-
definitely
yeah,
say that.
I,
She's very old school like that.
I've had wonderful science majors in my college classes, women. I have to say they were so outstanding that it made me wonder if to succeed in a science course at the college level, you had to be the best of the best. If the women have to, I don't know. I don't know.
Do we women have to be better than
Oh, I think so.
the men in these things
Oh,
to
absolutely.
prove
I think
that
sometimes to
we're-
prove ourselves. And maybe it's a self-created mentality. Well, I have to be better than the men to prove myself. I don't know. When I went to college, I lived on a dorm floor with a bunch of engineers. I lived with a girl who became a nuclear engineer. She works in New Jersey building nuclear submarines. I've been to parties with her. Frightening. But
Everybody has.
But she's a smart girl. She impressed
Yeah.
me, and I knew mechanical engineers and architectural engineers. And
My
it's-
daughter's a chemist, and she has gone into all kinds of things that were definitely not men's field. She was in disposing hazardous waste, going into places, and definitely things that men even in her generation weren't doing. But she has tales to tell. She has just pursued it and overcome some of the sexism.
I do think we need to encourage all the young ladies that we run
Absolutely.
into that it is we are people. We are no different, male, female.
Yeah.
We all have the same opportunities. We all have the same
Exactly.
ambitions, and there are no role models anywhere. No role. What am I trying to say? No role
stereotype.
I understand, though, a
Stereotypes.
congresswoman from North Carolina gave a speech yesterday in which she chastised the male congressmen, federal, for the way they presented things with pie charts and graphs. And she said, you have to speak down to a woman's level when you give those. And it was just appalling.
And how do these people get elected to government?
Well, it's from North Carolina. What can
Well, indeed.
Excuse me, North Carolina.
But it's that genderization thing. We need to realize that math and science is math and science. It doesn't matter what
Exactly.
gender you are.
No.
And it's not that you have to work harder to prove yourself to a man. You just have to work hard to prove yourself to
To
yourself.
yourself, exactly.
Indeed.
Exactly.
You know, I'm never trying to prove myself to a man. I'm
And
trying to
no.
succeed for myself.
And we need to not discourage people from whoever they are. If a boy wants to learn to
Right.
cook, don't discourage him. If a girl wants
Right.
to learn to fix trucks,
Right.
don't discourage her.
Well,
Now, we have to
that's
say
right.
that we upcoming is the BCTV dance party, Luau, Wednesday, July 30th from 7 to 9 at, I believe, the River Edge. You can check that out more at www.bctv.org. We always, as always, thank our wonderful home and people
Yay,
here at
wonderful
BCTV.org.
crew. Thank you.
Tonight we had Joan, Scott, and Micah. And it's been a wonderful time here in this studio. Next August 20th, we'll be
At Nicole's house.
At Nicole's house. You can't call in, but tune in because it's going to be wacky and fun. When isn't it? And then in September, we'll be in the new studio, so you'll want to see
Yay.
that. So thank you all for coming, and have a wonderful rest of the summer, and goodbye from all of us here at That's What She Said.
Bye.
Bye.
Yay to Germany, World Cup winners.